Something that we don't talk about enough in the world of counseling, coaching, therapy, etc., is that the more we focus and talk about our past pain, our past betrayals, our past trauma, the deeper they become and the greater our suffering is. Hey, David Essel here. One of the greatest ways to increase our suffering and to keep it going for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years is to talk about that partner that cheated on us, that ended the marriage. That talked about the boss that didn't pay us the overtime that we were due. That talk about the fact that because genetically we were raised in a family that was overweight, we're always going to be overweight, and we complain about it all the time. We also can go into the trauma victim mentality, and everything we're talking about can be termed victimhood, right? Where we think innocently by continuing to talk about the fact that, we've been screwed over by this person, that our friend betrayed us here, that this former lover took this money, or this former lover owes me $30,000 and she refuses to pay it, whatever it might be. The more we talk about this suffering, the more we talk about our pain, the more we talk about our betrayal, the deeper they become, the more ingrained they become. It's like the groove on an album, right? It's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm saying only talk about it with professionals. There comes a time in life where we really have to mature, and we have to look at the betrayals that everyone goes through. We have to look at the gossip that goes on behind everyone's back. There's no one. Jesus Christ was gossiped about, for God's sake, so let's get over ourselves, right? But we need to have a professional. And as we keep talking to our friends about our husband or our wife or our boyfriend or our girlfriend that's a slacker, that's this or that, the more that we hear from our friends how, their husband, boyfriend, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, is a slacker as well, the greater the suffering becomes. We do not heal. There is no healing when we're repeating constantly how we've been betrayed, how we've been lied to, how we've been cheated on. These are all things that are in the past. Let me stop right here. This is the past that we're talking about. But when we talk about it in the present, it's actually as it's happening right now. That's called complete suffering. So what you suffered from 30 years ago, you talk about it today, you're just revisiting the suffering. Quick story. A woman I worked with about 15 or 20 years ago, she was so angry when she divorced her husband, which was 30 years before I met her. She talked about it all the time. In our sessions, I explained to her that the more you talk about it, honey, the deeper the suffering's going to go. People are going to get tired of hearing you. People are going to get frustrated with hearing you constantly talk about it. It's 30 years ago. The next week she comes in. Her ex-husband of 30 years walked in front of her at some type of a football game with a really young girl on his arm, and she freaking lost it. She lost it with her friends. She lost it with her family. How crude, how rude, how unprofessional. He has every right in the world to walk in front of you or anyone else with a new girlfriend. That has nothing to do with you. And see, yet the victim in us starts to play these games, right? Like the victim, if I had a father that wasn't an alcoholic, if I had a mother that was more attentive, if I wasn't raised by my grandparents, we can go on and on forever. And the more we talk about it, the greater the suffering becomes. There's no alleviation whatsoever. But let me give you a tip. If you bring this information to a professional counselor, coach, therapist, whatever it might be, minister, if that's who you choose, and you sit down and say, hey, listen, I've got to vent this out. And we have a 4-step program, as a matter of fact, that we teach our clients to let go of the past. The past is not the present unless you want it to be. Listen, I will make mistakes from time to time talking about something that happened in the past that wasn't fair, and I'll catch myself and go, David, what the hell are you doing? That was 2 months ago. That was 30 years ago. Why are you dragging the suffering forward? And I say the same thing to my clients. We've got to put an end to it. So we give them this writing exercise, which is the end of victimhood, suffering, betrayal, being cheated upon. We get our clients to the point where that it is no longer a part of their existence. Did it happen? Yes. But there's no emotional response. Listen to this. This is crucial. You can talk about a past experience that was bad, and if you do it as a fact with no emotional response, you're in control. But you're even more in control if you choose not to bring it up unless you're talking to a professional. Reach out to me at talkdavid.com. My God, I want you so clean, so clear. I don't care what people have done in the past. If the Holocaust survivors can talk about forgiving Hitler and forgiving the men that worked for Hitler, if they can do that, my God, why can't we? Why can't we take whatever has happened in the past, put it in the past. Now, I'm not saying submersion and not deal with it. Totally different story, right? The written exercises we do, we make people go into that discomfort, into that pain, and then we give them the next writing exercise to get them out of it. It works. I've used it in the past when I've been betrayed. I have all my clients using this exercise, and there's a 100% success rate when we follow through with these tips. Hey, listen, go to me at talkdavid.com. Let's have a free 20-minute session on the phone. And then we do have specials going on because of the inflation. But this is one of the greatest causes of suffering in this world, when you constantly talk about things that have happened in the past. If it's not in the present, we need to learn how to leave it in the past. Everything is at talkdavid.com. Have a beautiful day.